That's right. Today we're doing multi-step equations. And yeah, I did fall off the desk at that last second or so of the video. So I hope you appreciated that. Anyways, let's check out today's section. So we have 3x plus 9 equals 15. And yeah, this is a two-step equation, but still we could call it multi-step. Anyway, what's important? What's important is the x. That's what's important. The goal of solving any equation is to isolate the variable on one side of the equal sign. So what you got to do is first understand, where is the variable at? Where's the x at? Well, the x is clearly over here on the left side of the equal sign. So the most important part of today's lesson is to realize that you need to get the x by itself and to know which to get rid of first. Okay, do you get rid of the 3 first or do you get rid of the 9 first? You have to get rid of the 9 first, okay? The little story I always give is the X is the movie star, 3 is hanging out with the movie star, so 3 is the movie star's buddy. This guy, the loner, the 9 that's all by himself, that's the bum at the corner. You don't care about that guy, so get rid of that guy first. So we're always going to get rid of the plus 9 or the minus 3 or whatever's out there at the end, the loner. You're going to get rid of that guy first. So to get rid of that guy, we're going to do the opposite. The opposite of plus 9 is minus 9. That cancels out. What you do to one side, you do to the other side, minus 9 over here, to maintain the balance of the equation. So let me bring down my 3x. The equal sign comes straight down. My 3x comes straight down. And 15 take away 9. Over here, 15 take away 9. I would think of money. You have $15. You owe somebody $9. You could pay them off and you will still have $6 left over. That's a positive 6 because you have 6 left over. So what we have here, guys, is a new equation. We had a 2-step equation and now we're only going to have a 1-step equation. So this is our new, easier equation, and we still need to get rid of this 3. And to get rid of the 3, you need to recognize what's happening between the 3 and the x. Of course, we are multiplying. So to get rid of the multiplication, we're going to have to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. So I'm going to use a division bar, put the 3 right there. What I do to one side, I do to the other side. And of course, the 3's cancel. And let me make some more space. And I will have x equals 6 divided by 3 is 2. And that's my final answer right there. It's important to note that the reason why this 3 canceled is because there's a 3 on top and a 3 on the bottom. It's the same exact value. 5 over 5 cancels, 7 over 7 cancels. Happy face over happy face will cancel, right? It has to be the same exact value. I've seen some students put a negative down here. That would be incorrect. You want it to be the same exact value in order for it to cancel. So if it was a negative 3, then you'd have to divide by a negative 3. But it's a positive 3, so we're dividing by a positive 3. And of course, what you do to one side, you do to the other. Anyways, also, if you have an answer and you want to, let's say you have some time left over on a quiz, take that 2 and plug it back in right here. So you really have 3 times 2. Remember, x is 2. 3 times 2, what is 3 times 2? That's 6. 6 plus 9, it really does equal 15. So what you've done is you've verified that 2 is the correct answer to the equation. All right, so how about this one right here? On this one, where's the x at? Now remember, here's your equal sign. The equal sign is what always divides the equation into the left side and the right side. So where's your x at? Is it on the left side? No. Is it on the right side? Yes, absolutely. So right here we have a multi-step equation, okay? X is right here. Is it by itself on the right side of the equal sign? Heck no. There's a plus 6 and there's a 2/3. Remember, X is the movie star. This is kind of like the movie star's buddy. This guy's the bum at the corner. This guy's the one you want to get rid of first. So let's get rid of the plus 6. How do we get rid of a plus 6? By doing the opposite, which is a minus 6. And of course, 6 take away 6 is 0. What you do to one side, you do to the other side. So subtract 6 over here. Now, notice that I said subtract 6. But in order to truly know whether you're adding or subtracting these values, you got to think of money. Remember, adding and subtracting, you got to look at the signs that are in front, think of money. So right here, you owe $12. You owe another $6. Man, you're going to owe a lot. You're going to owe a total of $18 right there. Now, the equal sign simply comes down, And of course, you rewrite your equation. There's a 2/3 and an x right there. So what happened from this first equation to the second equation? It's the same equation. It got smaller. It got nicer. There's no more +6 there. It looks better, right? So we still need to get the x by itself. So I still need to get rid of this 2/3, right? Now remember, a fraction is really a division problem. What this is really saying is 2 divided by 3, okay? So if you didn't want the divided by 3, you could get rid of it by doing the opposite. What is the opposite of dividing by 3? Multiplying by 3. So ladies and gentlemen, don't put an x for multiplication. If anything, put a dot. And we're going to be multiplying by 3. Notice that I put the 3 up here. I did not put it down here. Okay? The reason why I put it up here is to be more organized. Not only that, when you have a 3 up here and a 3 down here, 3 over 3 cancels out, right? We just said happy face over happy face cancels out. So right here, 3 over 3 cancels out. And of course, what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So what I just did was multiply by 3, so I also need to multiply the left side by 3. So I really have 3 times negative 18. That's going to give me a negative number, because a positive times a negative is a negative. And 3 times negative 18 is negative 54. Of course, bring down the equal. And what do we have left? Yeah, the 3's canceled, but the 2's still there. So I really have a 2 and an x. So let's actually write that down. You have 2, and an x. So here's your new equation. It's almost done. You're down to your last step. Okay, we did 1 step, 2 steps. This is our third and final step. That's why this one's a multi-step equation. So it says 2 times x equals negative 54. I need to get rid of this 2. Now, it doesn't say x plus 2. It doesn't say 2 minus x. Or what does it say? It says 2 times x. So what I want to do is get rid of the multiplication. This is really multiplication. I want to get rid of that multiplication by doing the opposite, which is dividing by that same value. So what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side to maintain the equality. And let me move this up. So now we have enough space here. The 2's cancel, the x comes down, the equal sign comes down, and negative 54 divided by 2, that's going to be a negative 27. So this is our answer. Of course, the better looking answer would be to have your x equals and your number. So you could just switch it to make it look nicer. We might as well do one more. How about that one? I said, dang, that one looks crazy, right? Well, it's really not that crazy. Bottom line is, here's your equal sign. So you could do that little wall thing again, just so you could see the sides. Where's the x at? Is it on the left side of the equal sign or the right side? There's no x over here, it's just 16. So the x is clearly over here. Is it by itself on the left side? Heck no, right? Let me repeat that. Heck no. You have a bunch of things. You have a 3, you have a -7, you have a divided by 5. So let's start clearing things up, right? Yeah, X is the movie star, but this guy right here is messing me up right here. It's a over 5. It's really a divided by 5. So if I want to get rid of the divided by 5, I need to do the opposite of dividing by 5. I need to actually multiply by 5. Okay, I'm talking about this whole fraction. I'm going to multiply by 5. Now, what's that going to do? The 5 is going to cancel with 5, because remember, if you have a 5 on top and a 5 on the bottom, the 5 cancels with the 5. So there is no more 5. But then again, you did multiply by 5, so what you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. So you need to do 16 times 5. And of course, the equal sign comes down. 16 times 5, that is 80. And what do we have left on the left side over here if the 5 canceled? You just have the 3x minus 7. So you have a 3x minus 7. And there's no more fraction because the 5 canceled out. It's gone. So whenever you have a fraction, you could get rid of it by multiplying everything by the denominator. And that's exactly what we did. That's what we've been saying the past 2 or 3 days here. Whenever you have a fraction, multiply by the denominator and it'll get rid of the fraction. So now we are able to look at this and say, okay, here's my x. I want to get rid of everything. Let's get rid of the bum at the corner first, that minus 7. So we're going to go plus 7. That'll cancel it out. What I do to one side, I do to the other. I'm going to rewrite this thing. I'm going to have a 3x left over, equal sign, and 80 plus 7 is 87. So I am running out of space here. Let me move it. So my final step would be to recognize that I have 3 times x. So I need to get rid of that multiplication of 3. So I'm going to divide by 3 and divide by 3 to maintain the balance. You do it to both sides. So again, the 3's cancel, the x comes down, the equals comes down, and 87 divided by 3 is 29. Of course, everybody knows that. No, I'm just kidding. I have a calculator, and I did that right now. 87 divided by 3. Anyways, the answer is 29. I think we should be ready to jump into the worksheet. I'm going to end this video right here. On the next video, we're actually going to start working on the assignment. I hope this helps.